Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. Today is a very special day of Vlogmas. Yes, it is Vlogmas Day 17, but it is also a collaboration video. Roy over at Recipes with Roy is hosting our December collab, and it is a cookie swap. We have a ton of people in this one because who doesn't love cookies? And some of them are WW friendly, some are not. Pick and choose what you would like, but I know for me, this time of year, honestly, the first cookie I was gonna do was a WW friendly cookie, and it was okay. It was passable. I didn't love it. And I thought, you know what? This time of year, people are making cookies to give as gifts, to take to parties, to have at parties. Not everything has to be WW friendly all the time. So I decided to make my favorite cookie. I am making ricotta cookies. They are so delicious, and I'm gonna give you a little hint. They're better when they sit. So if you need them for a party on Saturday, make them Thursday because the flavor just gets better and better. So that's why I am making these today, because I have somewhere to take them in a couple days. So that is my disclaimer on my cookies. I will give you the points and calories at the end of this video when I figure out how many it makes, because every time it makes a few less, a few more, just because that's the way the cookie crumbles. Please, when you are done watching my video, check my description box down below. There are a ton of other channels making cookies for you. So go check them out. And while you're there, please click on that subscription button and give them some subscription love. It helps us out, and that's why we're here. We're here to help you guys out. So if you could give us some help by clicking that subscribe button, that would be great. Let me know also in the description box below, what is your absolute favorite Christmas cookie? One that you cannot not make every year. So that's it for the chit-chatting, my friends. I am going to turn you around and I am going to show you what we need to make these cookies. Okay, we are going to need 3 sticks of butter divided. We're going to need 1 stick for the icing and 2 sticks for the actual cookies. We are going to need 2 cups of sugar, 4 cups of flour. This makes a lot of cookies, my friends, a lot. We are going to need a half a teaspoon of baking soda. We are going to need a teaspoon of vanilla. We are going to need 3 eggs. We are going to need a 15-ounce container of ricotta cheese. We're going to need a half a teaspoon of salt. And then also for the icing, we are going to need 1 box or 1 pound of powdered sugar, and some vanilla, and also a little bit of milk. I just didn't get the milk out of the fridge. That's just to thin your icing. So that is all we need to make these cookies. So let's get started. Okay, to start our cookies, we are going to take our 2 sticks of butter, half a pound. They are nice and soft. We're gonna add them to our mixer. Now, if you don't have a stand mixer, that's okay. You can absolutely use a hand mixer. And then we are going to add to this 2 cups of sugar. Now we are going to cream these together until they are light and fluffy. And then we are going to start adding our eggs one at a time. and we are going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Okay, now we're going to prepare the dry ingredients. In my sifter, I have 4 cups of flour, and yes, I know my sifter is very worn looking. It was my mama's, and it may have even been her mama's before that. It's clean, it's just old. We're going to add to that flour 1 teaspoon of baking soda and a half a teaspoon of salt. We're going to sift all of this together. I know people don't love to sift, but it really, really does make a difference in your baked goods. You're incorporating air into here to make for lighter, fluffier baked goods. Okay. Now we are going to bring our butter mixture back. And this is where we're also going to use our ricotta cheese. So what we are going to do is we are going to turn our mixer on, and we are going to mix in part of the flour, and then we're going to mix in some cheese, then we're going to mix in more flour, then we're going to mix in more cheese, and we are going to end with the flour. So you want to start and end with the flour. So let's get this going. Okay, we are just gonna scrape down the sides, make sure it's all blended well, get all this little bit of flour off. And then we are going to use our small cookie scoop, and we are going to get it out on the cookie sheets. I use Pampered Chef baking stones as my cookie sheets. I like the way cookies turn out on them. I feel like they are totally evenly cooked. The bottoms don't get darker than the tops and all that. And I think because of that, I have to bake mine just a little bit longer than on a metal cookie sheet. So the baking time on these is going to be between 10 and 15 minutes. I found that for me with the baking stones, the sweet spot is 13 minutes. So we're just going to give this a stir, make sure everything is combined. You can see how much batter is here. And we're going to get these in a 350-degree oven. Okay, we've got our sheet ungreased and our cookie scoop. We are just going to start scooping them out. Now, this is a little bit of a wet, sticky dough. So I also have a little bowl of water here, and I can just dip my scoop in it, and it helps to release the cookies. You don't have to do it every time. Usually every, I don't know, 5 or 6 cookies maybe. If you make cookies and do not have one of these scoops, you need to get one. I have these linked in my Amazon store down in the description box below, but you can get them anywhere. They are fantastic. They make all of your cookies uniform in shape and size. So number one, they look nice. And number two, they all bake nice and evenly. So you're not going to have some that are bigger, some that are smaller, some that are underbaked, some that are overbaked. So they are fabulous. So I am going to get these in the oven at 350 for 13 minutes. Then we have to let them cool completely before we put our icing on them. So I'm gonna go get all these trays done and we'll be back. Okay, we have a couple trays of our cookies out. We still have more going, but we have 4 dozen here and they are all nice and cool. So we are gonna get started on our icing. So for the frosting, in my mixer, I have the last stick of butter. I'm going to cream that, and then we're going to add the 1 pound of powdered sugar to it. I did sift this. It makes a nicer icing if there's no lumps. So I did sift my pound of 10x sugar. So we're going to get this creamed, and then we're going to add that slowly. Next, I'm gonna add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla and then the milk. You can put as much in as you need. The recipe calls for 2 tablespoons. I usually end up using about 4. I like a nice soft icing. I like my icing to be very soft. So I tend to add a little bit more than the 2 tablespoons of milk. You saw me add 2.5 tablespoons. I'm even gonna add a little bit more because I like it very spreadable. Okay, this is definitely a total preference thing. That is, I think, pretty good. If not, I can always add a little bit more milk when I start putting the icing on. Okay, I ended up putting just a little bit more milk in it because, like I said, I do like it nice and soft. And then you're just going to put a little bit of icing. You don't need a lot on each cookie. And from here, you can do whatever you want. You can put some jimmies on, some sanding sugar, or just leave them plain. Personally, I like them plain. Sometimes I'll put a few festive jimmies on them just to bring that holiday color into it. Now, normally with ricotta cookies, they don't have an icing like this. They have a glaze. I prefer the icing, not the glaze, but that's just me. So I'm gonna finish these up and get started on the next tray. Well, my friends, there you have it. My absolute favorite Christmas cookie, the ricotta cookies. I love these. They are so easy and they are so soft and pillowy. Oh, they literally melt in your mouth. So I hope you will give these a try. If you do, please let me know. Or if you already make these, please let me know. Like I said, they are definitely one of my favorites. And while I was icing them, Andrew called me and he's like, oh, do I see ricotta cookies? I'm like, yes, you do. So he's very excited. So my whole family does love them. As for the points and the calories, they are 4 points for a cookie made exactly as I made them, or 74 calories per cookie. So not too bad at all for a really, really nice treat, especially if you're counting calories, because 74 calories is not bad at all. And the recipe makes 9 dozen cookies. So it's a big one. You get a lot out of it. So if you're making cookie trays up, you can get a lot of cookie trays. So that is all I have for you today. Please do not forget to click on my description box below and check out all the other channels that are participating in this cookie swap collab. And once again, a huge thank you to Roy over at Recipes with Roy for putting this all together and hosting our collab this month. Who knows what you're going to see in January. Thank you so much, my friends. I will leave a few videos popped right here for you to enjoy, and I will see you all in my next video.